Welcome to Tarot to a Tea, where I'm having some tea while I waited for you to show up. That's a joke. Thank you for joining me. Seriously. Today I'm going to do a June 2022 reading for the sign of Scorpio. And if this is your first time, welcome. And if you are returning, thank you so much. Okay. I also want to remind you, if you'd like to know when the next video comes out, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'm sure that you hear that from all the channels that you watch, but you gotta get a reminder once in a while, because we don't always remember. Even if we want to subscribe, we don't remember to hit the button. So that's why we do that. It's been advised. I don't mean to be a pain about it, but it does help support our channels. So let's get started, Scorpio. We're going to deal some cards looking at a situation you're dealing with. And we're going to look at some cards. I'm going to look at some cards that tell me a little bit about the complicating factors in this situation. And then we're going to deal cards of advice. Because all of it is for, I don't know, kind of a waste if you don't have the advice there. Okay, let's get started. And I do want to mention, I'm getting over a cold, so hopefully I won't be coughing and hacking too much, but I do have this cough going on, and a harshly stuffed nose. Yesterday I was doing some of these readings, and I could hardly talk. At least I have my voice back. So let's see what's going on with you. Okay, you just went through a major completion of some sort, and we want to get that dust off of there. It bothers me. And looks like as a result you're experiencing some kind of division or disharmony with somebody or something, and well, you're kind of moving ahead. That's what this 8 is about. Let's look at this 9 of Hearts first, though. This is interesting because this energy is kind of dark. So I'm going to first talk about the good news. You just went through a major completion, like I said, and this was something you wished for. You desired this. It wasn't something that happened that you were particularly against ending. It can indicate the ending of a relationship because it is the heart. It is talking about the heart matters. But whatever it was close to your heart. I think that's fair to say. It definitely involved some kind of separation, not necessarily physically, but mentally, a separation with somebody. It's possible there were some harsh words. But whatever the case, I just got that with this wish fulfillment, I think maybe you had to say something to somebody and you really had been needing to do this for a while. That's why this was a wish fulfillment. But as a result, the words were harsh. It was something they didn't want to hear. Perhaps you addressed something that was hard to discuss. And as a result, it has created some kind of rift. Interestingly enough, this has to do with stress on your health and mental stress. It also can indicate problems around work. So I'm not sure if this was something you needed to say at work. Here we go. Sorry about that. Very possible Just because we have the hearts doesn't mean that this wasn't something that needed to come up at work, okay? We'll get some more cards out that'll hopefully reveal that, at least to me. But if that fits your situation, yeah, you had to speak up. You had to say something. Something was really getting to you, because this is a lot of stress, a lot of mental hardship, and needing to reduce that. But you are moving ahead, even though this was hard and difficult, and it didn't end the way, well, you still have wish fulfillment. I'm going to say it didn't end exactly the best it could, because you have the separation. It's possible that this is the person. I had to stop for a second because I'm not sure. This could also be you. This is a water sign, Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. Perhaps you know what? This is what I keep hearing. Maybe you approached it this way. This is like the motherly figure. You tried to come on very softly and gently in almost a nurturing manner. You tried to open this subject up with a lot of tenderness and care. It still caused a rift, though. You see? If that's not the case, this could represent another person, and like I said, it's usually an older female energy that kind of has the motherly, but also like a mentor. Somebody with a lot of wisdom. Could have some authority, but it's a strong female presence. It's very possible this is the way you were approaching it, because that's what I keep hearing. I'm sorry that didn't work out the way it should have. Oh, we got two. I'm going to take both. So the first one is a Jack of you can see that, Jack of Diamonds, if I could speak. This is a young, inexperienced energy. Maybe you didn't know exactly how to approach this subject, right? However, with the diamonds, this could, I'm going to back up a little bit. This also could be somebody else that brought you some kind of news. Maybe as a result of that news, you had to speak up about something. Or, like I said, this could be you. I find it very conflicting with the Queen of Hearts energy. That's why I keep stopping and saying, well, you can't be both. But I guess you could. You still felt kind of out of your element, inexperienced. Like, I'm not really sure how to approach this. And so there was a lot of anxiety, because this is the card of kind of being confused. Having confusing ideas and some anxiety. It is the card of delivering messages. So, like I said, your intention may have been to embody like this more tender approach to this, but you also had a lot of anxiety around it. It's not something you're experienced with, so you were kind of putting it out there. The best you could. Now the Six of Clubs is exciting because whatever transpired here has opened up new opportunities for you. And this is the card of prophecy in the sense that the path is open now. You're going to start experiencing some growth in some area. Higher pursuits. This could be financially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Could even, if it's a work situation, could even include some kind of learning more skill and being more of a key player at work so that you get some kind of promotion. It's generally good news, though, because it's about happy meetings and relationships that are going well. So whatever riff is here, it's almost like unfortunately it had to happen because you needed to relieve this work stress. And this was your approach to it, and it was a result of dealing with this the way you did and getting it out in the open. You have all these new, what I would consider abundances at your feet. Higher pursuits. 9 of Diamonds, yes. Definitely reached some point of completion here. This is actually, they call this the stimulus check card. Perhaps you did get put into another position as a result of this. Because I'm not really seeing how that would relate to this. Otherwise, if you know how this happened, this is a lot of money going out for like purchases or repairs. It could be also like paying off debt. Or making some kind of donation. Huh. Anyway, let's look at your complicating factors. This is more about you and what you're going through. Okay, 5 of Clubs, 8 of Diamonds, Ace of Hearts. Now, the Ace of Hearts talks about a new beginning, for sure. So you're starting from somewhere in June where this, whatever transpired here, yeah, you're basically having to start over in some way. Probably, I don't know, maybe forming new allies at work. Because it is the heart, it's about having a strong need for connection. Okay, so maybe you are having to make new allies. And it's changed some work dynamics. I'm kind of picking that up. But it's also the card that talks about the end of dispute. So that I don't really see that as a negative. As far as having to start over, with this 8 of Diamonds, this is hard work paying off. And I do think this is around a work situation, Scorpio, because this is financial gain, success, abundance, all of that. It's also the card of entrepreneurship. So maybe you kind of felt like what you did, you were kind of set out on a limb by yourself and you didn't have any backup. Even if it's not you, like in your business by yourself, like a business you started. But your efforts are definitely, the investments you put in this are paying off. The 5 of Clubs is about natural changes occurring because of struggles or events happening. So it's kind of stating the obvious, but it's also the card that talks about there was a need for some kind of major change to happen because you were dissatisfied with the current situation. Yeah, it also talks about other people being jealous or envious of you. Huh. Isn't that interesting? Maybe that's what needed to come out in the open here. That you knew that people resented you. You know what I mean? 7 of Hearts. Now, this is generally what you're experiencing, and you're experiencing some kind of heartache on some level. Not necessarily romantically, but just like being disappointed. People you thought you could count on, you can't count on them, or they turned on you. I'm hearing backstabbing. It's kind of like, you know, you get a sense of how people regard you, and then when that illusion is shattered, unfortunately that happens because we make assumptions, I think, about people, that they're trustworthy and whatnot, and then when we find out otherwise, or that something occurs to reveal that, wow, this person really doesn't have my best interests, or that person really isn't as kind as I thought they were. You know, it is heartbreaking. I think it goes back to our childhood and how we form bonds with people. So you're definitely going through an element of that, and that's understandable. which is painful, but it doesn't seem too dark. I mean, we just had this card right here was probably the darkest card, because this was about the stress that needed to be relieved. Yeah, I think you had to call somebody out, Scorpio, and that's what led to this division and disharmony. But it had to happen. The rest of it looks pretty good. It was hard what you did. Difficult to go through. Yes, again, we have the Jack of Spades. This is the card of someone being kind of two-faced. What was I just talking about? It just came out on the Seven of Hearts. This is the person who is charming and friendly on the outside, but on the inside they have ulterior motives. They have a second agenda. I think you had people... I keep hearing backstabbing. Somebody was backstabbing. Using information against you or trying to sabotage you, trying to make you look bad. Unfortunately, the workplace is full of that kind of crap. I'm not a fan of the workplace in general because I don't like dealing with those kinds of games. But when you have to work for money, for however long or however temporary, you do have to deal with that element. I've had times in my life where I didn't have to be in the workplace, and it was absolutely heaven on some levels. But on the other hand, if you're going for the steady paycheck, that goes with it, right? Let's look at your cards of advice. 4 diamonds, stability, especially around finances. 7 of clubs, that's a slightly better experience. And the 4 of spades. Now, both of these 4s are talk about stability. I think this 4 of diamonds is where you want to be. Goes without saying. Let me rearrange these a little bit so you can see them. The 4 of diamonds is, quite honestly, about some kind of windfall. It's about feeling secure financially, but it's also a warning about not overspending. So you do want to be careful with whatever position you're in now, or however this money came into play, because I am seeing a financial element through here. I'm just not seeing, obviously, how that came to play in the whole situation, how you got your hands on it, to be blunt. Yeah, you just want to be careful in that sense, and that's in your card. That's in your line of advice. So please remember that. I'll try to repeat it at the end of the video. This is the card about satisfaction, stability in your work, but feeling overworked. So I think there is a propensity for you to overwork, maybe to compensate for what happened here. Because now you're feeling very stable and satisfied, so maybe you want to throw yourself into it. But this is the card that's saying you need to treat yourself well. So on one hand, you have a warning about overspending. On the other hand, it's saying treat yourself well. Don't run yourself ragged. Don't, be careful of that. Just be careful of that, whatever form that is taking. This is the experience of feeling confined and things not going anywhere. Now, the fact that it came up between these 2 cards about taking care of your finances and taking care of yourself, it's in the middle of that. Symbolically, I see that as very important. I think you're feeling trapped between the 2. I think you're feeling trapped between the financial responsibility and also taking care of yourself. Because this is, like I said, this is the prisoner. I am going to deal some more cards because it doesn't really tell you how to deal with that. It's just saying that that's kind of the situation you're looking at. That's why you feel trapped, perhaps. Maybe that was something that was eluding you. You weren't sure why you felt discontent. What else can you tell Scorpio about this final advice here. Jack of Hearts. Now this Jack again is kind of the young at heart. I like to say young at heart, right? But it's also about partnerships and close friendships. I would venture to say this is actually asking you to use your heart more. Not look at it as so much day and night, black and white, poverty or abundance. It's like, use your heart. Your heart, you have to put your heart into these things. You can't just be all analytical, all practical. Lighten up. This is probably in lines with taking care of yourself. Not allowing the stress to get to you. Having a younger, more freer mindset, for example, with that Jack. Oh. Now, on any other circumstance, this is the card of a major loss, but I think what it's saying in the realm of your advice is you need to cut your losses here. Whatever transpired in this person that you're now at odds with, for example, or if this isn't a person, it could represent like an entity, like a group. You need to cut those losses and mourn them. Yeah, because this is not going to come back. It's not something to keep ruminating about and keep going over and thinking that you can repair it. I don't think it's repairable. It had to happen, like I was giving you the accolades here earlier about taking this Queen of Hearts approach, even though you were the Jack of Diamonds. Experienced, didn't know exactly how to deliver the message. And it opened up these doors for you, Scorpio. It opened up these doors and opportunities and led to this completion. Whatever was going on that needed to come out in the open, that is done. But I think there's some residual effects from it that maybe you're hanging on to. The negativity. It's saying cut your losses. Forget about it. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I hope that helped. If you like this video, go ahead and hit me a big thumbs up if you wouldn't mind. And subscribe if you want to see the next video come out. I might continue on with this. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't. It just depends, you know. I don't have a lot of control over that. And honestly, I don't remember one reading from the other. I can go back and kind of watch the video for a couple minutes and it reminds me, but you never know. I might continue on with this story here. Okay, I'll see you again soon. Take care.